Hey everyone, welcome to another week of destruction. In this week's gaming news, remember that old school Blizzard production timeline leak? Well, I've actually redesigned it and we're going to make some comparisons on what it actually looks like. Cyberpunk 2077 gets announced that the game is going to be even bigger than The Witcher 3. Ubisoft slowly reveal Far Cry Primal, but does get leaked in the process. In Heroes of the Storm, a very interesting article that came up that's definitely worth discussing. And lastly, when's the next Mad Max DLC going to be coming out? Okay, so let's jump into Cyberpunk 2077. Now, in an interview that came out, I think late last night or earlier on this morning, they basically said that Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be significantly bigger than The Witcher 3. That's pretty shocking considering how big The Witcher 3 already is. By the way, the last time I mentioned The Witcher 3, someone called me a baller here in the comments below, so feel free to share your feelings like that as well. So just a quick overview. Basically, they said they've learned so much from The Witcher 3, which will apparently be the last of the Witcher franchise, and they're going to be able to create Cyberpunk 2077 using much more efficient techniques from their experience inside of The Witcher 3. Now, let's not get too hyped about CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077 because it feels like a long way away before it even gets released. We don't know anything about the game just yet, so let's leave it at that. Now, Ubisoft put on an incredibly long live stream, slowly revealing a picture, which ultimately turned out to be Far Cry Primal. Now, this was planned very well. In fact, I'm already seeing trailers on YouTube ads from this game, which was announced like yesterday. Now, unfortunately, it did get leaked a little bit early, although, I believe this was kind of part of the plan as well. It's a much more interesting story to get in the media. That's just my theory anyway. That doesn't even matter though. I will share my experience, although I'm not really that interested in the game in general. But the Primal trailer makes me want to definitely go back and buy all of them. No, I'm just kidding. The Primal trailer does make me feel a little bit more connected to Far Cry and make non-Far Cry players like myself kind of feel a little bit pushed towards the game, just a little bit more. Now, regarding Heroes of the Storm, there was a pretty interesting article over on our good friends Kotaku. Now, the opinion is of this particular interview is that they're babying new players, not in the way that they're making it easy, just in the way that they're gating off talents. So you have to learn the game in a process instead of just allowing you to learn the game at your own speed. Now, from my experience when I started Heroes of the Storm in the early alpha, that it was more overwhelming to have so many class choices coming from a non-MOBA player and a Diablo background. So yeah, it was definitely incredibly overwhelming. To say that I was being babied would not be the right word to use. Although, what I will say is that if you are an experienced MOBA player and you jump onto Heroes of the Storm, I can totally see this perspective. When the latest PTR came out, I wanted to check out the new support class. I downloaded the PTR, looked at how many characters were available to myself, how much grinding I would have to do to get the new character without spending real money. Quickly downloaded the patch, turned it on, was like, fuck that, going back to live, and that was it. So I can totally see the opinion from this. Who else has felt like that when you're on the PTR? Like, really, I have to level all of my characters again? That's a bit weird. Alrighty, so when is the next Mad Max DLC coming out? I thought this would be interesting discussion. Now, if you're worried about Warner Brothers not bringing out DLC, and Avalanche Studios as well, I wouldn't worry about it too much. These guys love this stuff. Notoriously high-priced DLC definitely will be coming out. And yeah, when it does come out, then it will be cool. Now, I don't really see this as a problem for myself, mainly because Mad Max is a game that I'm trying to 100% complete. So by the time the DLC comes out, I'm probably still going to be playing the game. So I'm not in too much of a rush for it, but I think that some DLC would be fantastic for Mad Max. Definitely on customization on Max himself. Not necessarily on the vehicles, it's already pretty in depth, but I would like to see that kind of stuff, some new areas and all that good stuff. Yeah. Okay, last up for today, there was a Blizzard leak that came out a very long time ago and it was considered fact for a very long period of time. Maybe it was, and people still don't know if it is or not. All I know is that it got leaked from a Chinese department or some random stuff like that. Anyway, it has been a couple of years since this did get released, so I decided to replot the accurate release dates and just compare and see what it is, and maybe even take a little bit of the fun out of BlizzCon to see what may potentially come out. I'll leave that up to you guys to ponder on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Catch you next time. See you guys. We made it.